Talking two more goalkeepers, and we've got more goalkeeping data for you from goalkeeper.com, because we've got Jordan Pickford on the left-hand side, England's undisputed #1, and Manchester United's new goalkeeper this season in Senne Lammens. So overall, Jordan Pickford with the edge. And strong on shot stopping. Again, those green categories are the top 5, so he features very well in the Premier League, Pickford, for shot handling and that through ball sweeping that we saw from David Raya as well. Lammens is actually pretty solid in all those categories there, and excelling particularly at shot handling. Is that the case with Lammens, that he is, I'm not steady Eddie's probably a bit unfair, but he's fitted very well into this United team?
Yeah, absolutely right. Coming from a smaller league, the Belgium league and everything, not so many experience. So come into the team, making saves, important saves also. And what I said, like, it looks a bit similar than myself. And he's not a big shouter. He's just making the save, making sure that everybody is there.
He seems very composed at all times.
For my feeling, I don't know him personally and everything, but I've heard some stories about him. But he's cool. He's 2 touches, he gets it to a corner, and this is a great save. Of course, it's close by. You need to react, but yeah, he makes a save, and that's what you need in a goalkeeper.
And when you say he's more than a steady Eddie, he actually, when I watch him play, I'd expected those stats to be a little bit better. But obviously, people crunch the numbers. But when you think of what was before him, Man United needed a steady Eddie, someone who they could just rely on, not to do silly things. You think of Anana before that, continually, week after week, letting in really poor goals. And I think that man's made a really positive start to his,
that's still strange, because we had Edwin now at Ajax, and he was a good goal. I trained with him also on the training pitch and everything. His reactions, the pace, the saves that he made, they were incredible. At Inter Milan, he had a fantastic season playing the Champions League, but somehow
he wasn't suited to the Premier League or Manchester United.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned a little bit. Like, sometimes a club it's great to go to, but maybe it's not the right club for you, for the style of
practicing the set piece, by the way,
for the style of play. And Andre made too many mistakes. That doesn't grow confidence in the back 4 and in the supporters. And at a certain point, as they start to mumble a little bit, then it's difficult for a goalkeeper to get over that.
And this is what he's going to have to deal with tonight. A lot of this you would anticipate from set pieces. In front of him, you've got a new partnership. And this is something that you were talking about earlier. It's the first time that these two, Yoro and Maguire, have started together in a back 4. Might that make a difference to the goalkeeper?
In the ideal world, you play with your 2 centre halves all the time. But I think Yoro is also there for 2 years already. He played a few games already. So unfortunately, Matthijs de Ligt is injured, because I think he did, before his injury, played really well. So that a good thing that Harry Maguire is back in the team, solid, give you a presence at the back, and so let's see how this duo gonna work tonight.
For Everton, it is Jordan Pickford, Mr. Consistent as far as the Toffees have been concerned for many a season, and as I said, England's undisputed #1. He will be England's #1 at the World Cup, and a very different kind of goalkeeper. In what way would you say, Edwin?
Yeah, I think he relies a little bit more on, of course, maybe get a little bit more action, because Everton is, let's say, sometimes you're a little bit more under pressure, but he's making those saves, and it's of course he stands up big, and makes it, and of course he doesn't have, let's say, maybe the international pedigree on the saves, and you feel yourself that's a winner, and of course there's still a corner, so you always think in the back of your mind, don't let this corner be a goal, because then you know you help your team to a good result, and that's what you're doing year after year. He's playing, I think, maybe 6-7 years already at Everton, maybe longer.
We could show you another replay of that last save, Edwin. If you could talk us through the technical aspects of this one.
Of course, yeah. Maybe you think first you come out, can I collect the cross? But he's not. So he's coming back, making sure that your 2 feet are adjusted. And the ball goes to the right, so he needs that extra step to go to the side and get that fingertip save, because he is not as tall as Donnarumma, but to have look at his frame. Yeah, actually, if you have a picture, you put it at the wall in your house.
Could I ask you that? So listen, he's not the biggest of goalkeepers like your frame. So could certain goalkeepers actually jump from 1 foot and maybe get there quicker just because of their actual size? Where Jordan Pickford maybe has to take the 2 steps.
It's also about quick feet that you do during training. How quick can you go to those little cones and at a certain point, when do you set off? And Do you have time to make that extra step? A tall goalkeeper, probably not. Maybe slightly smaller has that opportunity and must have that spring in his leg to reach to the top corner. And otherwise, you wouldn't play so long. So that's why you have different strikers, you have different goalkeepers. But the main thing, make the save.
He always gives us something, doesn't he, Jordan? Yeah. Keep your eye on him for long enough.
And sort of this heat map, if you like. And I think under Amarin, he wanted them everywhere. He wanted them building up deeper, getting in the box, almost just running all over the place, really. But when you see him under Michael Carrick, it's a lot more disciplined, these heat maps. So there you want him between the lines. You don't want him coming deep, getting the ball off the back four, where he can hurt the opposition. And that's exactly what he's done. And it's interesting, then you look at the stats when you look at it. And look at that. Open play chances created per 90, a lot more, obviously, under Michael Carrick. So you look at obviously the appearance, obviously big difference there, but touches per 90, he's getting less touches. But the big thing that stands out, those touches are actually more productive for the team because he's actually waiting at times for the ball rather than going searching for the ball and chasing all over the pitch.
Yeah, I think what you showed the picture before with the heat map, where do you want your best players who can make a difference in the game? It's that position. Yeah. So you must have whatever defenders or centre midfielder who can play that ball also, make sure that he's there where it really matters.
And that's the one big one that stands out. Passes in the final third. That just comes from the fact that he was a lot deeper under Ruben Amorim. He was playing as one of the two central midfield players. But as I said, he's as good as anybody in this league and arguably European football between the lines. And that's where he needs to play.
And servicing these front players who have got talent without doubt. And Brian Mbeumo, someone you've had a bit of an eye on in terms of his position, as you mentioned to Michael there.
Yeah, he come in for me as almost like a right winger or a right-sided forward in the Amarin system. And I was surprised to see him go through the middle. But for me, he's been one of the best signings in the Premier League this season. And he suits Manchester United. I've heard Gary Neville so often describe what a Manchester United player should look like. And it feels like it's him. Huge spaces, huge pitch. But someone who can get you up the pitch with power and pace. And yes, this is a counter-attack, but you've got the two wingers initially, Bruno Fernandes in the number 10 position, but the power and pace from one end of the pitch to the other in Mbeumo and finish. And that's what he can do. He's been absolutely fantastic. And this, again, at Arsenal. So they became like a front two. Brian Mbeumo again through the middle because we've got Ahmad here wide. Fernandes between the lines. Has been and always will be, and that's what that lad's done, coming off the bench, scoring vital goals and getting vital points for this team.
Yeah, you had to talk about does he need to play, but yeah, the team is working.
He says he's happy. You're winning. He says Ben's happy right now.
He's not happy, but no, Michael knows, of course, it's a team selection, so you only have 11. So if he can play whatever, half an hour, 20 minutes when it's needed, and of course, even when you're winning 2-0 or something, you may have to make sure that I think he makes the right substitutions at the right moment.
Well, not only
when you're losing, but also when you're winning.
Yeah. Have a look at this. I mean, it's just five games under Michael Carrick. There have been 3 goals by subs. If you compare that with the 47 under Ruben Amorim, just 2 goals by subs in all of that time. Does that strike you as strange?
It seems a little bit, but I think my understanding what maybe Amorim changed a little bit more at the centre back a little bit, or changed something on the midfield. And I think Michael is changing in a positive way, in an attacking way. So I think that helped a little bit. Of course, Diallo is also fit, so that helps a lot on going forward. But I think mainly what you mentioned a little bit with Cunha and Moreno. Experienced Premier League players, they know what. I think they changed the strategy a little bit on the recruitment side, and that benefits them now if they play in the right system and gives the right results.
They've also got a very calm goalkeeper. Senne Lammens is Edwin van der Sar Mark II. We'll be talking about him a little bit later on before